Hello there guys, it's LazyBeast here, with a video today to let you know about all the things that are going to go away either in the pre-patch or on the launch of Dragonflight, which is expected to launch before December the 31st this year, and it's likely to be a bit sooner than that. So we probably only have a couple of months left before the end of the expansion. So let's take a look at things you can aim to do before Dragonflight is here. Let's start with the usuals. So Keystone Master for getting a Mythic Plus rating of 2000 or higher will go away on the pre-patch, along with the Keystone Hero achievements for completing timed plus 20 runs of the Season 4 dungeons, which earn you the portals to the dungeons. So if you want the Restoration Deathwalker mount and the shiny portals, it's time to get busy. Season 4 of Shadowlands PvP will also come to an end, so it's time to push for that Gladiator rank if you want the Eternal Gladiator title, the Weapon Illusion, the Elite PvP armor sets for getting 2100 rating, and of course the Season 4 Gladiator mount. The raid mounts that are going to go away are Vengeance's Reigns from Fated Mythic Sylvanas, and the Zereth Overseer from Fated Mythic Jailer. But remember that all the raids are going to be fated in the last few weeks of the expansion, so you'll have time to go and get those if you need them. These mounts will go down to a very low % drop chance after the expansion launches, but you can still get them in the pre-patch, so there's still a bit more time to get these things. So these are the obvious ones, but what else can you do? Well, before we get into the different things you can work on before Dragonflight, if you fancy a different kind of raid, then why not take a look at today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, you guessed it. So you know how in Shadowlands we got this brand new feature called Torghast, and well, it just turned out to be Choreghast and a bit of a flop. Well, if you want a real fun challenge, look no further than the Doom Tower. It's basically a massive prison in the form of this huge tower where the biggest of the bad guys have been locked up. Oh, so the problem is sorted then, right? Well, no. The tower is failing, and pretty soon these guys are going to be out causing all types of chaos, so it's down to you and your army of champions to go in there and crack some skulls, blast through the floors of enemies to reach the bosses on the higher floors, and these guys require clever tactics to defeat. Trust me, they don't fall over easily. So, what's new in Raid? There's a brand new feature called Awakening and a brutal new dungeon, the Iron Twins Fortress, and once you beat that dungeon, you'll be able to awaken your champions, letting you choose a powerful blessing for each of them, changing up how they perform in battle. And for those Wrath of the Lich King fans, you didn't think Death Knights only existed in Warcraft, did you? Well no, there's a super-powered legendary version of everyone's favourite champion, Death Knight, and to unlock him, all you need to do is log in for 7 days between now and October the 27th to add him to your collection. Simple. There's genuinely never been a better time to get started with Raid Shadow Legends, so start your adventure today and use the promo code DKRises for loads of free items, and to boost your new strongest champion all the way to level 50 with 5-star Ascension. This promo will work for both new and existing players, but for any first time players, click my link in the description or scan this QR code and you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Rector Draff, 200k silver, 1 energy refill and 1 XP boost with 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. All of this treasure will be waiting for you right here, it's that simple. Just click the link in the description, I'll see you in the game. Okay, so what else should you try and get done before Shadowlands is over? Well, you've probably heard of the huge Shadowlands meta achievement called Back from the Beyond, the one that gives you the title, the Veil Strider. Now, I do have a video going through what you need to do to get this, not with a guide for every single bit, because that would be insane, as this achievement basically requires you to complete the Shadowlands. You need to do all the raids, you need to complete a meta achievement for Torghast, a meta achievement for the Maw, the meta achievement for Zereth Mortis, the list goes on. You also need to do a lot of things that involve the Covenants, obviously, with being such a big feature of Shadowlands, so you need to get 80 renown with all the Covenants, and you also need to complete an achievement called Shadowlands Dilettante, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which basically requires you to progress quite far through the unique Covenant Sanctum feature that each Covenant has. So, for example, the Ember Court or the Stitch Yard from the Necrolords. Now, these are the achievements, if any, that are going to take a long time. For example, the Stitch Yard for the Necrolords needs you to complete one of each of the dailies. Now, you're going to be at the mercy of these dailies appearing. You could go for weeks on end where you only need one certain quest to be active, but it might not become active for a while, so that could get you stuck. So if you've been playing Shadowlands at all, you've probably already started on this achievement, and you will have bits of it done, but just see what you need to finish off, and realistically, you can get this done before the end of Shadowlands, but you've got to start working on it now and seriously put some hours in if you definitely want to get this. You do have right up until the day that Dragonflight launches. You should be able to carry on working on this in the pre-patch, so get cracking, guys. So you may have heard that there's going to be some item scaling in Dragonflight, as there usually is now when there's a new expansion, to keep the numbers from getting stupidly too high. So it looks like this is going to be the same in Dragonflight for the pre-patch as well. Now the reason why I bring this up is historically this has affected things like running old raids, but a big one that you could see some disruption to is the Mage Tower challenges. Now when these first came out they were quite overtuned, and now that they're available all the time, it's a good time to go and get these done while the tuning is at an okay level, because you might find that when Dragonflight pre-patch comes in, the tuning can be thrown completely off, making these challenges too hard, maybe too easy, but usually it goes the other way and things become too hard. So if you do want to get the Mage Tower challenges boxed off, it's probably a good time to do that as well, while other things in the expansion are winding down a bit. And remember that you don't need to wait for Legion Time Walking Weeks anymore, the Mage Tower is available all the time. And as I mentioned as well about the old raid farming, it's particularly the ones that are more recent that can sometimes become quite tricky if the scaling gets messed up along the way. And because the scaling is sort of like a lesser issue than the current expansion launch, you do find that if the scaling does get messed up, it takes them quite long to get around to fixing it, because people farming old raids isn't, unfortunately, a big priority of Blizzard's, it seems. And it does make sense, I guess, that they want to fix things in the current expansion first, which is fair enough. So as well, the end of the expansion is always a good time to level up any alts that you may want to play, save up some extra gold to give you a head start when the expansion launches, or even just check out things like the PTR or beta if you're lucky enough to get in it, to prepare for the clash changes that are going to come to you, so you can be more ready when the expansion comes. And that pretty much wraps it up, guys, so let us know what you're doing to prepare for Dragonflight and the things that you really want to finish off before it comes. Thank you for watching the video. And if you've enjoyed it, please do leave it a like and consider subscribing to the channel to see all my future content. Thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. I've been LazyBeast and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.